The other one's still working. No, that's the next one. Like the storm water. It's fine. Instead of the ground. That pipe is. I like plants. I don't know what to say. I know who you are. I'm secretary, so I take attendance. But that's it. Okay. How are you? You know, single mom for 4 days. And then you have a fishing trip coming up in June. It's my trip. I got a plan, so I had nothing planned. All my things. Right?
All righty, how are we doing, everybody? This on? Maybe it isn't. All right, how about now? Not too bad. All right, well, welcome everybody. Look how you guys know what's going on. Everybody's all set and ready to roll here.
You have us trained well.
Oh, look at it. Look at it. It only took, what, 53 years for us to get to this point? Very nice. Very nice. Well, let me just tell you, this is going to be a wild ride today. I did get COVID. My only lasting effect is the brain fog, which I'm going to blame on COVID only, because of course I don't have that normally. So the board meeting was quite the adventure, remembering people's names and staying on task. So we're going to have a good one today. So, hey, look, Sean's here before the bell. Very cool. Sorry, we have to tease her. Would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I would.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I see that Christy is back. Well, I think I heard you a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So
I think this is third week.
third week here. Well, would you like to lead us in the four-way pact?
I would love to. The four-way pact in the way I interact with others, personal accountability with courage and truth. First,
I will have the courage to tell the whole truth. I will be kind in the way I tell it. I will be fair and not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind.
And Jack Lucas, you can hide, but you can't run. But Jack, if you can give us an invocation.
Dear God, we give thanks for this day and for the guests that are with us. We ask a blessing on the Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this food and this program to our use. We ask this in your name. Amen.
All right. Very good. Take your seats. And Cam, if you're there, in a minute, I'm going to introduce all the guests in the room, and you can just say hi, and then we'll come back to you at 1 o'clock.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, you can put it to myself. I'll stick it in. Brain fog too. Thanks, Yeah. It is, but we're gonna have to get you a new water. Would you like this today? I gotta go take this back and There's a fellowship today. Is it the district? Is it virtual? Did you sign up virtual? They did have virtual. Yeah. Honestly, Jeff. Last week they did the Oh, you know what you're trying to do? Is it's the conversation part.
Yes.
All righty. Okay, well, it looks like everybody got their salads. We got a very big day today. We'll have plenty of time for fellowship and conversation, but I do want to make sure we get plenty of time for everything. We will be introducing our guests in a minute. We'll have our happy dollars, our Rotary news of the week. We've got some club announcements. Next week, be ready. We're going to do birthdays and anniversaries. So get your vocal cords ready. We all want to sing that happy birthday song coming up next week. We will do our Queen of Hearts. Of course, we have our fun and frolic with our fantastically fun and happy fine master. We've got our guest speaker. I'll introduce him in a second, but there's Cam Awesome. And yes, he is. And yes, that's his name right there. And we'll finish up on time. So as I did mention, Cam Awesome is our speaker today. He is on Zoom. Where are you from? Where are you zooming in from?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. So all the way from Kansas City right here for us right now. Thank you very much. Cool things. All right, you can hide again and we'll see you about 1 o'clock. No, I'm just kidding. It'll be there. Guess we've got, you know what? I got to tell you, she's not a guest, but we're going to induct her next week. Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal is a new member. Just wave and say hi. And of course, I like, calling on people that had just put food in their mouth. So my apologies. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I kind of did. Bill has a guest at his table.
I'm happy to introduce again visiting Rotarian from Kampala, Uganda, Julius Bukibi. Julius will be inducted as his club's president next Saturday via Zoom from hopefully one of our district governors or past district governors here in 6440.
All right, thank you. Very good. And we're happy smiling Rotarians until we get to Pat Gronwald's table. Is that Pat? Oh, she's got her mouth full of food, right? Of course, that's exactly how it's going to go today. So give us 1 second, gulp. Okay, good. Good. Hello. Okay. We got some club announcements. I don't think we have any more room for the bowling tonight, do we? We've not heard, but there's bowling tonight. Many of you have signed up, and I think it was full last week, or it was close to being full. So you know what? Forget I said it. Have a good time tonight. A Rotary Foundation minute. Bruce, I might have you put this in the buzz. There's a whole list of great things that your $1,000 contribution to the Rotary Foundation can do. One of the things I thought was pretty cool, purchase a tree nursery in Jamaica that will annually produce 5,000 tree seedlings and increase family income for 700 farmers. That's $1,000 can get you that. So Lots of great things that our foundation is doing. Any other announcements on the Rotary side of business announcements? Anything? Yeah, we're getting toward the end of this tenure. I'm just cruising. I just blindfolded. I've just got like 4 or 5 weeks left here, so not much going on in our world. All right. So who's happy? We got happy dollars. Happy, happy, happy. Really, we're just going to eat our salad and no one is going to be happy today? Oh, we got Linda who's happy. She's always happy.
I'm happy to be back. I missed you guys the last 2 weeks. I didn't realize how much till I almost couldn't make it here today. So I'm glad to be here. And I'm happy for 2 other things. So I got $5 happy. I'll pull out my wallet. My 21-year-old son finally decided to get his driver's license.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And my eldest one is he's engaged and under contract for purchasing a house. So I'm really excited for them. Good things happening in the family.
Oh, great stuff. Great stuff. Well, while everybody else is deciding on their happy dollars, I'll give you mine. I did mention that I did have COVID this week, but all the boys were home. None of them got it. And having them home is so great. The happy dollars are for my oldest is doing a clinical out in Rockford for his physical therapy. And he's decided he's going to live at home and drive out there for an hour and to drive out back for an hour. It's amazing what free food, free rent will do for you, which is awesome because he's got a 2006 Accord that is fast as the wind. And he's going to be driving my car, which is slow as molasses. So I get to drive his and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Sammy, my youngest, starts his internship at Ace Hardware in Oak Brook. You would think I'm thinking, I'm not, in Oak Brook. So he gets to do all kinds of things with their app, their distribution software, and everything, the stuff that he loves to do. And Eddie is on his way back to Iowa. He's going to be spending the summer out there getting bigger, stronger, faster, so that the NFL teams will not say no. They'll all want him to come next year at this time. So I'm going to do $10 happy online. Pat, hit it.
I have $5 happy, 3 because during the table with 3 wonderful people today, and 2 because of the district conference this week. And by the end of tomorrow, my presentation on H2 will be over.
And she's collecting. We got Steve Lamp in the back.
$100 tip.
Whoa.
One that most of this is for next week. I will not be here because I'm moving another daughter. It's like a but this is for all our veterans that help serve and make this country great. And then just that I've been, actually she's gone a couple more weeks after that too because
All right. Thank you, Steve. Lots of golf. Anyone else? Gene Walter.
I have 2 happy dollars for Linda's son. Steve for my daughter. The singing has been doing really well. Karaoke at my house. I was a Star Trek fan, and the Star Trek Discovery has been on. There's a character there named Saru, who's played by Doug Jones, who's also in The Shape of Water and Pan's Labyrinth. So I got to meet him last week. It was really cool. Got his autograph. And then with an additional potential famous person sighting, my wife and I were driving past that lingerie store on and Roselle Road.
It's amazing how many people know where that's at.
And we saw this guy come out with 2 big bags of merchandise, whatever it was. And she pointed out to me, hey, is that Henry Winkler? And I said, no, that's not Henry Winkler, that's Alan Day.
Oh,
It looks similar.
And I was buying those supplies for Gene.
sure. Nice one. Nice one. If you didn't notice, please look up at the screen. Thank you very much. I am conspiracy to this, Alan Gabe. All right, Paul, if you said you had something?
Yeah, go ahead. You and you've been here.
He'll get us later.
I have $5 happy and need some change. Actually, tonight I have going out to my mom. I haven't spoke to her in about 5 years, and just mending that. A lot of stuff happened, but we're trying to mend that and work on that relationship. So I guess I'm happy to be seeing her again tonight.
Very good. Anyone else? Bill Kelly.
I have $3 happy. One, because it's neat to look at the beginning of Rotary. I think back in 1905, Paul Harris, we got members from the Rotary One Club from the starting of Rotary. And then we got a member that's going to be inducted into Uganda as the incoming president. And I'm a part of this trajectory. And one other happy dollar, and that's I'm excited that Jack Rawball is going to be giving that H2 presentation at the conference. I'll be able to be there from the peanut gallery throwing peanuts.
All right. Woo.
Harassment while you wait.
There you go. Good stuff. Thanks. Anyone else? Anyone else? All right. Our weekly reminder of public image. Anything that you got going on, any pictures that you have of some of the things that you've been doing, even if it's not Rotary related, like just let Pat know. And if it's not the right thing, she might not do it, but she's getting desperate, so she'll put anything up there, anything you got. If you catch somebody coming out of the lingerie store, whatever it happens to be, if you've got pictures, please pass it along. And don't forget that this is streaming on YouTube pretty much every week, and then it's also recorded, so it stays there. So our YouTube channel is right, and you can click through it through our website, and you can catch up on anything you may have missed, besides, of course, the wonderful buzz that goes out each week. So the whole reason anybody even comes here is, of course, for the Queen of Hearts raffle here. And here we go. We'll put this over there. And let's see if we can get some audio. And if we do, it's a good day. There it is. It's a good day. Oh, look at that. Woo.
26.
And we got number 26. Comes after 25 before. Oh, man.
The spades.
Queen of Spades. But luckily, we've got the Queen of Hearts king here. Steve Lamp is here. Does the Queen of Spades win anything?
Say that with conviction.
Hold on. I got it. No, it's there. I actually put the rules behind the picture. Any other queen is 10% of the pot. Would you look at that? There it is. I do things. Yes, I do things for comic relief here. So yes, you did. Any other queen, you got 10% of the pot. And the pot, I think, was 40-something hundred. So good. All that means is that we have got another couple of years of happy dollars that, well, you know where that's going.
All right.
All right. Enjoy your meal. We'll come back in a bit.
Save your place here, or like you
Yeah.
Did,
Oh, yeah. We're sponsoring.
okay, yeah, so I just, I don't know.
Yeah, I've got the check. I'll bring it on Monday. We're sponsoring you, and, awesome. Yeah. Eat it?
Yeah.
All right.
She lives in the area.
Yeah. I didn't have my brother. Yeah, no, my grandma and I talked about it. She's probably.
Not a bad idea, right?
Like they say, it took me a year to get a impression, you know. It's about that. Nobody's
service whatever.
Well, I have one sum that up service members pay for your lunch. So that's the main difference.
That's why. Yeah, so like, it's like people who
Yeah, that's sort of what.
That's really all. Yeah, at the moment, financially. So when we doing other things, yeah, time so.
Yeah, I had time to work on projects.
Quite often. We had some that converted, really started converting we've had a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what, you know, I try to pick up more.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we were saying with Saturday, that's one thing that I wish we had more info about, like the bar and all this numbers, like. Those are the things like.
All I know
Is Chris still running it? Is he still doing it? He's the one who.
yeah. Right.
They socially run on reach out to them, I'm sure they would take some way.
So for hours, I think I can find something.
I believe so, as long as it's like a year. That part I don't know, but I think it can be a little bit.
So are you available Saturdays in the morning or no? Do you know anything about garden?
I knew you were gonna do it.
But you're a young strap.
Maybe like, yeah, it's like pulling weeds, cutting, chopping things.
Yeah.
Hands on.
Yeah.
Did Pursuit do an okay job reading there?
No.
We only had a little amount of people come, but I did actually like, yeah, same.
Yeah, we're signed up for
Yeah, the mayor.
the mayor's gonna be here, big stuff going on, so that would be, and usually if you're only there for a couple of hours. Okay. Really cool.
That's what I mean.
That's what you see for.
Now, did you, do you live in Hopkins? Oh, that's.
I don't even know where that is. You know?
Well, we went there. How'd you find us?
Actually, I met a stranger there. Just got talking for a while. I don't know. I just kind of show how yeah, I'm just 6.
That's what you want. You want to target.
Got it.
Okay, Cam, you don't have to talk. We're gonna have one more person come up. He's gonna have some fun, making fun of some people and stuff. And then when he's done, you're up. So it'll be 1 o'clock or whenever he's done, whatever comes first. And I'm gonna have you big on the screen here when you do. Perfect. Thank you so much.
And then I think it's like you can't get it.
So bad. I think I just sucked out the idea of this is fishing. He wants to get to town. It's not like coach fishing. He wants to get yeah. I was like, no, he wants to get so I think I felt like I was
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in order to keep us on track here, it is now time for everyone's second favorite part of the meeting. A man who needs no introduction.
Hi, everybody. I'm the no introduction for our visiting Rotarians and guests. This is our portion of our meeting called Fun and Frolic, where I have fun finding people. And I don't know what the frolic comes in, but that's what it's called. So this is money we raise to help us do all the wonderful things that our club does. So I'm going to ask some people to collect money. Do I have any volunteers for collectors? Chris, nice seeing you. Would you please be a volunteer? Gene Schlinkman and Mike Olick. Okay, so my first find today is I was going to find people who were late, but the only person who I saw coming late was Steve Lamp. But since he gave us $100, I'm going to give him a pass today. Thank you, Steve. And as a veteran, I thank you for those kind words. If you're not wearing your pin, of course, that's $2. If you're not wearing your badge, that's $2. So I had a very interesting conversation well, I shouldn't say conversation. I was listening to a very interesting topic at lunch today with Jeff Miller and Ed Haig about something that after they told me about it, I know less than when he started. So is anybody in here understand crypto? If you do, raise your hand. Okay, George Panopoulos is the only one who understands crypto. So all the rest of you, you have to pay $2 because it's the up and coming thing. And I was told today at lunch that some people believe that crypto is more secure than money. So whatever that means. So we're going to soon, I'm going to suggest to Tom that in addition to happy dollars, we're going to have happy Bitcoin. So how many people in this room have invested in or have traded in Bitcoin? Raise your hand. Okay, so none of us, the rest of us haven't, so you people showing off have to pay $2 each. If you're not wearing a Rotary shirt today, ashamed of yourself. It's the district conference weekend, so if you're not wearing a Rotary shirt, that's $2. If you're wearing a shirt that has your company logo on it, Wendy, don't talk to Chris because I'm finding him. If you're wearing a shirt that has your company logo on it, that'll be $2. So, you know, Gene Walters and I have this thing where he talks, but I have to say something about Gene. He's being a little modest. In all honesty, his daughter has performed in a movie with, who is the star?
Viola Davis, Liam Neeson, Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. And it's called The Widow. So, you know, when he talks that his daughter is an entertainer, he really means it. So quit picking on poor Gene. If you're not wearing shorts today, look at the weather out here. So that'll be $2 for not wearing shorts. Tonight is one of our fellowship events at the Pinstripes in South Barrington. If you're not doing the fellowship event tonight, shame on you. So that'll be $4. Linda, when you made the announcement about the engagement and your son was entering into a contract, I thought you were going to say he was entering into a contract to get married.
Sorry.
That's okay. So since I was confused, I'm going to find everybody else in the room because you were so happy. So everybody paid $2 for Linda's son getting married and buying a house. And Gene, I never find anybody who wins something at the Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Heart, whatever month it is, raffle. I always ask for a donation. So in your heart of hearts, how much did he win today? Does anybody know? 400 and how much? I heard 400, I heard 410, I've heard 420. What is this, an auction? So Gene, from the goodness of your heart, of the 400 and some odd dollars that you won today, how much do you want to donate?
I'll let Linda decide for me.
See, that's to our visitors. That's why we're known as the friendly club, because we pick on each other. So
Don't be my Julie with that.
He picked number 26, so
$260.
$260.
okay, so thank you very much for that donation. And one of the last fines is if you don't have a guest at your table, that'll be $2. And if you still have a red badge, that'll be $2. Everybody stay safe, enjoy the district conference this weekend, and enjoy this really miserable weather that's coming.
Hey, our fun and frolic fine master. What do you say, everybody? All right. All right. I am going to spotlight you. Where the heck is it? Spotlight for everyone. All right, just give me 1 second while the buzz in the room goes down a little bit. But you can, why don't you just say something so I know that the audio is working.
Hello, everyone.
That'll work.
Cool,
Let me
cool.
make sure I got good audio here. It's usually there's a hubbub, so give us a second.
Okay.
All right. Testing. Yeah, it's better. All right, good. And then I can't use the microphone that I mentioned, so I'll stand here and interpret if anything has to be interpreted.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I just fixed the audio so now everybody can hear, and you just woke everybody up, so we're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Kansas City. Kansas side, or is it the Missouri side? What is there? Is that how that works over there?
Yeah. I'm on the Kansas side.
Okay.
I'm like a mile away from State Line Road.
All right. Yeah, I know. Hold on 1 second. All right. All of a sudden, I hit the right switch, and you're perfectly way too loud. So how about now? What do you say?
Something.
There you go. Something. All right. So speaking of Kansas, I'm part of a network. They're based in Kansas. It's called the ACA. A few months ago, Cam was the presenter. I thought that he did an amazing job and asked if he wanted to present for us here. And he reluctantly agreed because he had heard about this group all the way out there. So that's a joke. He didn't really know that. But Cam's got a really interesting background. He's going to touch on all of that stuff. But I'm just going to give it up to Cam Awesome, everybody.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for having me. And bear with me with the technology frame. Like I'm over here and you guys are over. You guys get that. So I'm going to ask for some interactions through the audience. But before I do that, I want to share a little bit about myself. So to do that, technology. So there we go. As the number one, so my name is Cam F. Awesome. I was the number one heavyweight boxer in the US for over a decade. I've won more national championships than anyone else in the history of the sport. And as a boxer, as a number one boxer in America, I travel to other countries to fight their number one boxers. So I get to go to other countries. I made a career out of going to other countries, beating people up, and then learning about their food and their culture. It was a great time in a career, but I learned a lot of amazing things. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. Some objectives for today is we're going to have a safe space, settling into uncomfortable conversations. And these conversations aren't too uncomfortable for me, so please lean on me if you have any questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question, at least for the next 30 minutes. Understanding different cultures, and finally, gaining stamina in this work. And just when I talk about this work, I mean the work of diversity and understanding other people. And what I mean by gaining stamina is I would love to slap a cape on you after the end of this session and say that you know everything there is to know about diversity and culture. But of course, you're not going to. So you're just always going to have to continue learning. So some questions to ponder for today. We're talking about culture. The question is, what is culture? Is my culture right or wrong? How do I exist with those of other cultures? And to kind of explain what the idea of cultures is, I want to talk about stereotypes. A stereotype is a widely held but fixed and oversimplified image of an idea or person, a particular idea, person or thing, type of person or thing. And basically that means a gross generalization. A stereotype is nothing but a gross generalization. So this is where I'm going to ask for you guys, just for your participation. some of us have traveled outside of our area. So speaking on stereotypes, can anyone just yell out a stereotype you hear of New Yorkers?
Rude.
Abrasive, rude, loud, bossy, obnoxious.
Awesome.
Somebody from New York said super handsome, but I don't know.
I agree with him. So switch it up. Give me some stereotypes. What do you hear some stereotypes about Californians?
Super dudes.
Yeah, dudes. What? Liberals. Hippie liberals. Like pineapple on their pizzas. Oh my goodness. Airheads.
So
What
airheads.
Yeah. They're chill.
Oh, chill. Okay, let's take it down south. What do you hear about Texas? What about Texans?
Everything's bigger in Texas. What else? Rednecks. You see, Cam, we're all Rotarians. We can't say bad things about anybody else except ourselves. What else? They all have guns in their cars.
Guns in their cars.
They don't like women too much. They're what? Lots of cattle.
Lots of cattle. Okay, I'm in Kansas. What do you think some stereotypes about Kansas is? And don't worry, it's a safe space. You can say what you think.
I don't think anybody has any thoughts about Kansas ever. So, Wizard of Oz, yeah.
Okay, so tornado, Wizard of Oz, and
barbecue.
Let's take it down to Florida.
Oh, old. Everyone's saying old.
Old. Okay. And finally, the last place, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Corrupt, tax-paying, high taxes. Overtax.
Corrupt, high-paying taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to let you guys know, it's just an activity I do just to kind of warm everyone up. I'm just not going to, this isn't just to judge people by states for the next 30 minutes. What I want to do is to kind of show you guys how we all kind of speak the same language of ignorance. And by what I mean is I'm going to show you the top 50 stereotypes for each state and let me know how accurate you think this is.
Cold. Chicago.
Boring.
Corn.
Oh, that's funny.
Football and yeah.
Horses.
Holy cow! Look how we nailed
Florida.
we nailed Florida. We nailed California.
Gambling. Lobster.
New York is rude. We nailed New York.
Yeah.
And tornado and boring. We nailed both Kansas and Missouri.
Yeah. So the reason why I should, so a few of them, for example, of course, Texas, we said cowboy, like people usually like guns, cowboys, cowboy hats. And if you've ever been to Texas, you should check it out sometime. You can take a flight out there, Southwest, 2 bags for free. You can take an Uber downtown, spend an entire month in downtown Dallas and not see a single person on a horse. Where do you think we get this idea that there are a bunch of cowboys in Texas?
Yeah, movies, the news.
Movies, the news. Perfect example. Let's go back up to Kansas. The stereotype for Kansas is tornadoes. I'm from New York, so when the gentleman said that there are very handsome people in New York, I completely agree. But when I first moved to Kansas in 2008, I was guaranteed I was going to see 5 to 7 tornadoes a month. First of all, I didn't know where Kansas was on the map, if I'm being honest. And I've been here since 2008 and I've yet to see a tornado. But where do you think we got this idea that there's a bunch of tornadoes in Kansas?
Wizard of Oz. movies.
Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel.
Yeah, The Wizard of Oz. So could this be an example of the way the media can warp our perception of a place before we even get there?
Yeah.
So this is why I kind of like to do this activity, because with stereotypes, stereotypes get very uncomfortable when it gets around race. So we can talk about stereotypes about states because no one's very that committed to their state. So I love doing the states. And I suggest if you guys work with anyone, this is a great breakout activity to do with people. The next activity, so the idea of talking to different people and using language, this is the idea of cultural competence. Cultural competence refers to the ability to interact effectively with people of different backgrounds. Pretty simple. Now, here to speak about intent versus impact. So I speak about intent versus impact quite often, and I was doing it on Zoom once, and I brought up the point melting pot. Has anyone ever heard of the term melting pot before?
Yes.
Yeah, they all have.
And what does that mean?
Diverse, lots of different types of people.
Yes. So
Melding people together.
people all melt together. So I have been using the term melting pot for as long as I can remember. And I was doing this talk literally on intent versus impact. And someone pointed out, they said, well, we don't use the term melting pot anymore. And if I'm being honest with you guys, the first thing I said was, and I say that as the person who is doing the talk, I'm like, oh no, what do I have to change now? Because sometimes we get so committed to the way we used to do things. And the person explained to me is the term melting pot, the intent behind this is to say that America is a melting pot. We're all mixed together. But the impact of the statement is for a culture to be a part of American culture, they have to melt down, assimilate, and no longer be whole. That's what was explained to me. And the reason why that hit home for me is I used to be a youth speaker, and I used to speak at schools all across the country. And then I decided to speak in the corporate world. And a lot of speakers wanted to help me out. And they all pulled me aside and they said, Cam, if you want to be into if you want to break into the corporate space, you should cut your hair to be more appropriate for a corporate audience. That's what was told. I don't know if you can see my hair. It's fabulous. I'm not cutting it. Hey,
Lots of great comments about your hair.
thank you. But the thing is, I'm from Trinidad. Well, my dad's from Trinidad, and everyone in my family, they have long hair. We don't cut our locks. It's a part of my culture. It's my heritage. And for me to cut my hair would be assimilating to corporate culture, to American culture, to the predominant culture. And that is white culture. And the predominant culture in America is white culture. So I would have to, so basically what I heard was, hey, Cam, you have to cut your hair to make white people feel comfortable. And that's not, and obviously I didn't cut my hair. So because of that, I stopped using the term melting pot. And this taught me a lesson, like, just because I used a term for many of years doesn't mean I have to use it for my entire life. Because the definition of culture means a way of life. And our way of life is always changing and evolving. We should change and evolve and social our language. So now I don't use the term melting pot anymore because I understood the intent of it and the impact. I use the term salad bowl. Now I say America's a salad bowl. I could have just dug my heels in and complained about using a slide, because that's what we do sometimes. You're like, well, I used to use that word back in the 90s. Like, okay, you can't anymore. It's not the end of the world. So I did all of that to tell you America's a salad bowl, just to disagree with the entire idea that America's a salad bowl. I believe America's more of a bento box.
I don't know if we see it, but not everybody knows specifically what a bento box is.
Okay, a bento box. Yeah, we're in different sections. So I'll make it a little bigger for you guys. This is a bento box.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the idea of a bento box. We're in different areas. Now, I say all this to say we're a bento box because back in the day, the world's most famous speech is Martin Luther King's "I Had a Dream" speech. Everyone says it, but we never really think about what it means. It's like, I have a dream, but let's listen to the words. So he says, I have a dream that little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls as brothers and sisters. What he was alluding to was the Fair Housing Act of 1968. And this is the idea of, and maybe most of you already know the concept of redlining, which made it illegal to discriminate against people, because before redlining, we had to live in specific areas based on our race and our class. Now, the Fair Housing Act, with what Martin Luther King was fighting for, was for us to all live amongst each other. It wasn't just for black people, it was for everyone, status, ability, sex, gender, national origin, or religion. He wanted everyone to live amongst each other. But the problem is, after years of racist policies, we've been separated. And now that we still hang out amongst each other, we still live in separate areas. And so we still live in separate areas. And the problem is, when we live in separate areas, is we don't get to know each other well. Now, let's say that you're the pretzel people, right? You hang out with pretzel people, you go to work with pretzel people, you live around pretzel people. Now, there are chocolate people over there, but they're all the way over there. So, you don't have anything against chocolate people. They're just all the way over there. So you just make your assumptions and you keep it moving. Now, the chocolate people, I'm the chocolate people. I hang out with chocolate people. I go to work with chocolate people. I eat with chocolate people. I have lunch with chocolate people. Now, the pretzel people are all the way over there. Now, I ain't got no problem with the pretzel people. I just don't know anything about them. I hear some stuff, so I just make my assumptions and I keep it moving. But the problem is with that, if we just make assumptions and we don't actually go up to people and get to know them, our assumptions are going to be as reliable as these stereotypes based on states. Because did you see what the stereotype for Illinois was?
Chicago.
How does that make you feel?
It's a big state.
So the idea of the bento box, right? For us to break these actual barriers, to break these barriers and get to know each other. Now, my question to you is, if you were to ask the strawberries, hey, strawberries, who do you think make the best jelly? Who do you think they're going to say? Strawberry, because it's delicious, and also because they're very biased. And this is what an echo chamber is. An echo chamber is an environment in which a person encounters only beliefs or opinions that coincide with their own, so much so that their existing views are reinforced and alternative ideas are not considered. And two graphics that go along with that. Now, we know people who two graphs go along with that. We know people who are so sure about something because they've heard everyone else tell them about it so much that it's drilled and ingrained in them, and they can't see another perspective. The idea of stepping outside your echo chamber and hearing other people. Now, I think that is such an important part to grow and develop as a person. Then you get to learn about different things and different cultures. Now, can a few people just yell out and give me some examples of American culture?
American culture?
Freedom.
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 I don't really have.
Consumerism. Somebody said we kind of don't have one. What was the first one? Capitalism. Sexism. The damn phone going off while you're standing in front of a group, which is cultural in Chicago. Anything else? I think land of opportunity. Hot dogs. Cowboy. Now we're just getting into all of the different stereotypes of each state. Go ahead, Cam.
And that's actually where I wanted to go with this. So when we think of culture, when you're immersed in it, you can't see it. Now, an activity I do, because I thought we were going to be virtual, a powerful activity I do is I have everyone, if we were virtual, I'll have everyone in the audience. I call it 6+me. So I would like you to put in the chat, I would have you put on a map, because I have this physical map here, or not physical. It's a website where you can plant a map from your computer and put the dots of where you were born, your 2 parents, and your 4 grandparents. And I have everyone map that out on dots over the globe. And you get to see how far around we're spread and how many different cultures we pull from to become who we are. Because there's a lot of talk about cultural appropriation, but there's a difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. And that's for a whole nother talk. But when you do understand, American culture is just a mixture of all of these different cultures. And so much so, when I've traveled to over 30 countries as captain of Team USA, and I got to represent America in all these different countries. And it was an amazing experience because I got to see what other countries thought our culture was. And I say that as someone who's been to over 30 countries and I have never been to a resort. So I'm actually around the people, and it's a difference. So one of the things that I learned, because when you're around the tourists, they understand your culture. But when I would go to these small pockets in, like, example, I went to Finland, right? And I asked, so anytime I go to these countries, I want to be of the country. Like, give me your food, give me your drinks, give me everything that you do. And I was in Finland, and this guy at this breakfast restaurant, he heard me speak and he says, "Oh, you're from America. Can I make you an American orange juice?" And I said, "Well, no, but also make me a Finnish orange juice. I want to finish. I'm here. Give me your," he says, "No. I need to make you an American orange juice." And he was so excited. I said, "Sure." And he left and he came back with the biggest smile on his face with an orange juice in a red Solo cup. Now, he learned about American culture from movies and television. And in his eyes, every time he saw this red Solo cup, there was a party going on. And if you think about it, every time you were at a house party, a picnic, even think back when you snuck out the house and you went to a house party, this cup was there. So is this cup a part of your culture? Now,
Yeah, it is.
another thing about American culture, football, not the world's most popular sport, the other one that no one really plays in comparison.
Oh, that one.
That one. And it's so funny because when we win we're a world champion, you win the Super Bowl, but they don't let any other countries compete. Another thing us Americans, the fact that we call ourselves Americans. Here's a little lesson. Question for you guys. Is Mexico in North America?
Yes.
Are Mexicans Americans?
Ooh, no.
Are Canadians Americans?
Yeah.
Are Guatemalans Americans? My country, my family, they're from Trinidad and Tobago. When they're coming to the United States, they refer to it as the States. People outside of the United States of America despise when we refer to ourselves as Americans because they see themselves as Americans too. We're all in the continent of America. South Americans are also Americans, but in our culture, we've dominated that word. Just a little thing to share. Another thing, someone yelled out our culture is a capitalistic society, consumerism. In most cultures, it's unlucky to celebrate a baby before it's born, but not in America. You can make money off the holiday. So we have gender reveal parties and burn down half of a state. Another thing about culture, the food. For about 4 or 5 years, I would go to Italy every year and I would eat with this family. And I loved them, but I hated eating with them because it was like 2 hours. They would bring you like a little piece of food and then you wait for like 20 minutes and they bring you another little piece of food. Then you wait for, and they don't even know how to make pastries because it's just like, they're like free samples. Their food just so small. But in America, we eat differently. We don't really eat at a dinner table too often. We eat in front of the couch. We eat standing up. There are drive-throughs, people, because we eat when we drive. That's normalized. Now in Italy, a part of their culture is dinner's not about the food. No one cares about the food, even though it's delicious. The idea of dinner is when you spend time with your loved ones. Now, that's something I adopted with my family. Me and my girl have dinner at the dinner table every night. Most nights we play Yahtzee because I love the idea of spending time with your loved ones. And that's something I took from the Italian culture. Another thing about culture in Middle East, in Australia, the thumbs up is essentially the middle finger. The more you learn, right? And finally, this one has nothing to do with anything but ice. In America, you get ice. Other countries, they don't give you ice. Also, they didn't give you refills. And when you do ask for ice, they give you 1 or 2 pieces that dissolve as soon as it hits the water. I know I should be grateful that I get to travel the world, but yes, I complain about ice. So some of the things I do when I go to other countries is, as captain of Team USA, I learn the do's and the don'ts of each country. And one of the countries I went to, can anyone guess where this country is?
Anybody know? No.
It's Azerbaijan.
What he said.
Yeah, I've been there 4 times and I still can't spell it. So this is a country that's right over by Armenia. I went there, the first time I went there, I went with Team USA, and it was me and the whole national boxing team, and we had our tour guide. His name was Fico. Fico had $1 million smile. He was an amazing dude. He learned all of his English from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And it sounded like it. Here's a picture of Fico and I. Sorry for the quality of the picture. This was back in 2010 when iPhones only had 1 camera on it, not 6. But I as captain of Team USA, to make sure that I'm a good ambassador, to show that America, the United States, I'm guilty of it too, that the United States are good people. When I go to these other countries, I have to learn the do's and don'ts. And some of the things I learned about Azerbaijan is no littering. I learned there's a difference between nice and new. They don't have new things. They have nice things. They're very old, but they take care of what they have, not like we do in America. Another thing I learned, no mentioning of Armenia. They have been at war with Armenia for hundreds of years, and they had just lifted their ceasefire in January of 2020, I believe. So they said, I was over there for boxing. They said, don't mention Armenia. Don't talk about Armenia. Don't even wear their colors because it's not safe over there. Another thing is only accept after the 3rd offer. It's an odd one. Tom, you around?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay, so to accept on third offer, let me show you what it's like. So Tom, I'm going to invite you out to eat. You're going to have to decline twice and accept on the 3rd time. You got me?
Got it.
All right. Tom, would you like to join me and my family for dinner tonight?
You know, I can't do it. Sorry.
Oh man, we really want to have you. My girlfriend, she's cooking tonight. We're going to have a great time. Please join us.
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Tom, we just can't take no for an answer. We got to have you. We're vegan. My wife's going to make a great vegan meal. Please join us.
Okay, I'll come.
Okay, Tom, here's my question to you.
That was awkward as hell.
Right? Isn't it? Before I even ask the question, isn't it weird to have to decline twice, even though you know you're going to accept on the 3rd time?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
But in their culture, if you accept on the 1st or 2nd time, you come off as overly eager or greedy. Now, these are subtle things that we have to learn about other cultures when we do business with other people. So these are just some lessons I share. I know I'm a little short on time, but these are just some lessons that you kind of learn about people in different backgrounds. I've got 5. And I wanted to open the floor for some questions. And the 4th thing I learned about Azerbaijan is never leave a tip. I was in Azerbaijan, and Fico is there to make sure we're safe. we went to go take our day off from working out. The team, me and a couple guys on the team went to hop in a taxi. The taxis aren't labeled over there. They're just cars. And I hopped in a taxi to go to the mall with a couple teammates, and Fico ran outside and said, "Hey, get out. They know you're from America. They'll likely take you to the middle of nowhere and rob you. Let me call my friend to give you a ride for free. That will be safe." Free is my favorite price, guys. Free is my favorite price. He calls his buddy, gives us a ride. As I'm going into his buddy's car, I shake his hand and I slip him a few manots, a few of their dollars. I leave, I come back. Fico had waited for me the entire time at the front door. He pulled me to a back room. He threw the money on the table and he says, "If you respect me as a man, why would you do this?" Yeah, I was just as confused as you guys. And I'm like, and I'm nervous because he's so kind, he's so sweet. This is the first time I saw him angry. Plus everyone has guns over there and I'm in another country. and I'm apologizing. I'm like, this is a tip, a thank you. He says, "Oh, is it gratuity?" He doesn't know tip, but he knows gratuity. I'm like, yes, gratuity. And he says, "I understand what you're trying to do, but do not do that here." And I said, "Tell me more." And he says, so in their culture, so I said, culture means a way of life. No way of life is right or wrong. It's just different ways of life. There are gender roles in Azerbaijan. Men work, they do not take handouts. The fact that I gave him money, I was saying, I'm a rich American and I'm doing great. You are a peasant and you're not a real man and you can't take care of your family. So take some of my scraps. Now, do you think that's what I meant to say?
No, not at all.
But this is the idea of intent versus impact. No one cares about what your intentions are. People care about the way you make them feel. And it takes just a little bit of effort to make sure you go out of your way to make sure that people feel good. And people won't remember what you told them, but they'll remember the way you make them feel. And I think that's very important in business. So this is just one of the presentations I offer to show just the different communications we have with people of different cultures. Thank you.
All right, Cam, my audio just went kaput. I think we're back. We got some time for quick questions. Bill Kelly. Oh, you always have one. I have one this time.
I am the Bill Kelly. I am the Bill Kelly.
Yeah. In this case, I'll ask for Bill. When you're not sure about the culture, is it okay to ask? Is it okay, if you're sitting across from somebody that's different than you, lives in a different neighborhood or came from a different area, is it okay to ask these questions or just kind of assume?
I'll answer the question in this way. So Tom, do you ever take walks?
Yeah. Well, you don't see me, but yeah, I actually do walk.
Okay. So picture it's a beautiful day and you're on a walk, right? The wind's blowing in your hair.
You still haven't seen me, so that's even better. Yeah.
And you have tomorrow off from work, right? Are you picturing it? Is it in your mind?
It is.
I hit you with my car.
Yes.
I get out my car. I'm like, "Oh my God, Tom, is that you bleeding under my car?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I was actually headed to go volunteer. I volunteer because I'm such a good person. Because my mom, she raised me right. I volunteer with all types of people, old people, young people, babies, vets, homeless. I do it all, man. I'm just such a good person. And while I'm explaining all this, you're still bleeding under my car, Tom.
Yeah.
Right?
Got it. I got it.
Then I tell you, I don't usually text when I drive, but my mom had texted me. And you always got to text your mom back, right?
Yeah.
And that's when I hit you with my car, Tom. Now, at this point, Tom, are you more interested in the intent of my actions or the impact of my actions?
Probably the impact. Yeah.
But did I tell you that I volunteer?
You didn't mention that. Yes, of course.
What if I tell you you didn't hear my car because I drive a Prius because I care about the environment?
Oh, yeah. That seems about right too.
Yeah, but do you care?
No, not really, because I'm still underneath your car.
Tom, can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah, sure.
Why does everything have to be about you?
True. Very good.
So the point I'm getting to, Tom,
Yeah.
is microaggressions. So these are the terms I'm speaking about now are microaggressions. So when you ask someone something, I go through this thing where I list different things we say when we put our foot, well, different things I have put my foot in my mouth to say. And I love culture, right? And one of my favorite things to do is when I see someone not from where I'm from, this is what I ask them, where are you from? Or what are you? And, if I ask them where you're from and you say, oh, I'm from Illinois. And I'm like, you know what I mean? Where are you really from?
Right.
And I used to do that all the time. Now, the reason why I stopped is think about this as the pylon principle. Imagine you wake up in the morning, right? You're getting ready for work, you stub your toe. You go to brush your teeth, you stub your toe. You're walking to the car, you drop your laptop, lands on your toe. At lunch, someone drops a tray, hits your toe. Now it's the end of the day, Tom, and you're sitting on your couch, your toe hurts, and your wife, she brings you over a dessert. Why? Because you're just an amazing husband. That's why.
Keep talking.
And when she brings you that dessert, she accidentally steps on that toe. Ouch. Tom, are you in pain?
Yeah.
Now, did she mean to put that harm on you?
No.
Did she have good intentions?
Yeah.
But the fact remains you're still in pain. So Tom, imagine that you look, and I say air quotes, exotic. And every time someone sees you in the place you pay your taxes, the place you were born, the place where you raise your kids, and everyone approaches you and say, hey, Tom, you don't look like you belong here. And you kind of owe me an explanation on why you're here.
Good point.
That's what are you or where you really from sounds like. Granted, this might not be your intention, but you have to remember, you may have not been the first person to ask them that. Actually, you're not the first person to ask them that question. You may have not even been the first person to ask them that question that day. So you do have to remember the situation someone else is in. So when it comes about learning about someone else's culture, you can ask someone where they are. But if they say Illinois, that is the answer you get.
Got it.
Unless you form a relationship with them. And then I'm talking about like strangers, if you meet someone on the street. But if you have a friend and someone you're comfortable with, that's different. In a work environment, you want to stay professional.
Good. Any more questions? Thank you very much. Very cool. All right. Well, I can't remember what we got next week is Village of Hoffman Estates Human Services. And if we can now all rise. Yes. Thank you very much, Cam. Very much. You're still up on the screen. You're still up on the screen, so careful with that thumbs up, okay?
Okay.
So let's see if we could have Paul. The four-way test is it behind the screen?
I just read it.
Or we could do it right there. Please lead us in the four-way test. All you got to do is say first.
First,
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will goodwill and better friendships be beneficial to all concerned? And yes, Cam, do you have a quote you would like to leave us on? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes. So this is a quote I live by. I believe in trying new things and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And even though it's scary, if you can fail without being discouraged, success becomes inevitable. Thank you.
Very good. Perfect. Thank you very much, everybody. All right. I'll take you off the big speed.
Thanks, Tom.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot. Great job. We loved it.
Thank you. Take care. And share my email address with anyone you want to.
I will. I'll send it to everybody, and then I'll send you a link to the recording if you wanted to take a look at yourself.
Sweet. Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. You too. Bye-bye.